Welcome students of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Students, as we all know, the current situation which we are facing of coronavirus, we all are concerned about our health. We all want to just, boost up our immune system. But do we know how our immune system works? What is health? What all things are concerned with human health and disease? So we will be studying everything about immune system, immune cells, vaccination, how we have to boost our immunity, and how we have to deal with all the diseases. What are the different types of diseases which we are going to face in the future, which we must have faced in the past. Okay, so we'll be starting with the chapter 10, that is human health and disease. So in today's lecture we will be dealing with health, immunity, types of immunity, cells of immune system, and vaccination. What is health? Health does not simply mean absence of disease or physical fitness. That means if simply you're not suffering from any kind of disease, that doesn't mean you're healthy. Or just if you're physically fit, that doesn't mean you're healthy. So actually it is very difficult to define health. So according to WHO, that is World Health Organization, health is defined as the state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, what WHO says? WHO is saying that health, it considers all the three criteria of physical, mental, and social well being. Health also reflects the metabolic and functional efficiency of living organism, the metabolism and all the functions of our body. It should be perfect, it should be fit. So that is a healthy person. How can we achieve good health? To achieve good health, it is necessary that we have hygienic balanced diet, clean drinking water, personal and community hygiene, regular personal exercise, knowledge about disease and their effect on body, proper disposal of waste, and control of vectors. Now, every day we are exposed to various foreign bodies, including infectious agents like bacteria, viruses, etc. Despite constant exposure to variety of pathogens, most of us remain healthy. This is due to fact that human body has ability to resist almost all type of these foreign bodies, and the system which protect us from all the various infections and the infectious agents is called immune system. So we'll be studying about immune system later on. So first just let us focus on how can we achieve good health. So what are the major things which we need to take care of to achieve good health? What it is necessary? It is necessary to have hygienic balanced diet, clean drinking water, personal and community hygiene, regular physical exercise, knowledge about disease and their effect on body, proper disposal of waste and control of vectors. Immunity. The term immunity has traditionally referred to as the resistance exhibited by the host towards injury caused by pathogens and their products. The immunity is the defense mechanism of our body. How our body it fights against all the attacks of bacteria and viruses. The people with strong immune system have less chances to adopt any kind of disease, and these people with less whose immune system is very less weak immune system, what I can say, they are more prone to several kind of bacterial and viral diseases. The most important characteristics of immune system is that it distinguishes self and non-self cells. Now if I'm talking about self cells, They are the body's own cell which our body produce to fight against the various antigens. The antigens, what is antigen? Antigen is something which is coming from the outside environment inside our body. It may be any kind of bacteria, or it can be any kind of virus, dust, anything which enters foreign particle. What I can say, the foreign particle which enters our body, they are called as antigens. So if any antigen is entering our body has immune cells. They are called body's own cells, and the which are not body cells, they are called non-self cells. They are called foreign molecules or invading cells. So the immune system differentiates between the body cells and the invaders. Our body is like very clear which is the our body self cells and which are the non-self cells. So any foreign substance invading body and capable of stimulating an immune response is called an antigen. As I explained you, what is an antigen? It is any foreign substance invading body and capable of stimulating an immune response. The protective chemicals produced by immune cells in response to antigens is called antibodies. Now suppose if I have got an infection of a bacteria, so the bacteria is an antigen for my body, and my body will produce antibodies against the antigen which has entered my body. In short, my immune system is activated, and it will activate all my immune cells to fight against the antigen. So it is very necessary to have a strong immunity. Types of immunity. There are two types of immunity. Number one, innate or inborn. It is also known as inherited immunity. Number two, acquired or adaptive immunity. Innate immunity or inborn immunity. Now, what is innate immunity? Innate immunity is the resistance to infections that an individual possesses by virtue of his or her genetic makeup. Now, what does that statement means? This means the immunity or the power to fight against the diseases, it is possessed by the individual right from the birth. Hence, it is called inborn immunity. Are you getting my point? So, innate immunity or inborn immunity is the power or the defense mechanism of the body which has been possessed by the individual right from the birth. It is a natural inborn defense system of the body. It is not affected by prior contact with microorganisms or immunization. Now this is natural form of defense system of the body. Here we don't give any vaccine, or the body has not yet come in contact with any sort of microorganisms. So the immunity is all natural. It is non-specific when it indicates a degree of resistance to infection in general, or specific where resistance to a particular pathogen is concerned. One form of innate immunity comprises the various types of barriers which prevent the entry of foreign antigens into the body. The next type of immunity is acquired immunity. The resistance that an individual acquires during life is known as acquired immunity. It is also known as adaptive or specific immunity. It involves the formation of antibodies in the body which neutralize the antigens. So, acquired immunity is developed by the individual through the experiences during the lifespan. Acquired or adaptive immunity has the following unique features. What are those? Number 1, specificity. Number 2, diversity. Number 3, discrimination between self and non-self cells. And number 4, memory. So number one, that is specificity. It can produce specific antibody or T lymphocytes against a particular antigen or pathogen. So it is specific in nature. It means it produces specific antibody against specific antigen. Clear. Next is diversity. It can recognize a vast variety of diverse pathogens or foreign molecule. So it is diverse in nature. N number of foreign antigens which is encountered by our body, it is detected by the acquired immunity. Discrimination between self and non-self cells. It differentiates between own body cells and foreign molecules. So it is very important to discriminate between self and non-self cells. Why? Because our immune system should not kill our own immune cells. That is a type of disorder which is known as autoimmune disorder, and it is very much fatal for our body. So this number 3, discrimination between self and non-self cells, is very important. Number 4 comes the memory. So when the immune system encounters a specific foreign agent for the first time, it generates an immune response and eliminates the invader. So if you are encountered by any of the disease for the first time, your body, what it does, it cures and it develops some memory cells inside the body. So what happens when the second time when you're coming in contact with any such type of similar foreign antigens, your body, it remembers, yeah, this kind of foreign material had already entered my body. So what it does, it activates the memory cells, and the killing process or elimination process of the antigen becomes quite easier. Types of acquired immunity. There are two types of acquired immunity. Number 1, active. Number 2, passive. Now what is active immunity? It is the resistance developed by individuals as a result of an antigenic stimulus. It is also known as adaptive immunity. Active immunity may be natural or artificial. So it is the resistance which is developed by individuals as a result of an antigenic stimulus. Means already the individual is in contact with the antigens, and because of the antigens, the body, it creates a stimulus. So it means the body is becoming immune against that antigen. Number 2 is passive. Now what is passive immunity? Passive immunity is acquired when ready-made antibodies are received by the body cells. Here the antibodies are received ready-made. So it is called passive. Now what is happening in active? In active, antigenic stimulus is produced. Because of antigenic stimulus, antibodies are produced naturally inside the body. And in passive, we are giving direct antibodies in the body cells. That is, body cells do not take any active part in the production of immunity. Passive immunity can be acquired either naturally or artificially. Active immunity. Now active immunity are of two types: natural acquired active immunity and artificial acquired active immunity. Now let us see what is natural acquired active immunity. Immunity acquired due to infection is called natural active immunity. So when our body, it gets any sort of infection, and the immunity which is developed against that antigen, so it is a natural process and it is active. So it is naturally acquired active immunity. It is developed after entry of pathogens in the body. It is long lasting immunity. Example, person who has recovered from attack of measles develop natural acquired immunity to measles for the lifetime. Next is artificial acquired active immunity. It is the resistance induced by vaccines. So the resistance which is induced inside the body due to vaccines, because vaccines, they actually contains the half killed cells which are very passive, like nearly dead cells, which creates a stimulus inside the body. So it is artificial way of active immunity. Vaccine is introduced into the body to stimulate the formation of antibodies by the immune system. For example, polio vaccine, BCG vaccine, etc. Such immunity may be temporary or permanent. Types of passive immunity. There are two types of passive immunity. Number one, natural acquired passive immunity, and number two, artificially acquired passive immunity. Now, what is natural acquired passive immunity? Before birth, maternal antibodies are transferred from mother to fetus through placenta. After birth, antibodies are transferred from mother to infant through colostrum, that is the first milk of mother, and continue throughout the period of breastfeeding. The antibodies received by baby from mother remain in the body for a short time. Therefore, natural acquired passive immunity is short lived. Artificially acquired passive immunity, now what it is? Now, this immunity is developed by injecting previously prepared antibodies using serum from humans or animals. So, here in naturally acquired passive immunity, the antibodies are direct transferred from mother to fetus and from mother to infant. And what is happening in passive? It is developed by injecting previously prepared antibodies using the serum from humans or animals. For example, antibodies obtained from hyperimmunized horses are injected to human against rabies pathogens. So it is short lived. Cells of immune system. There are two main types of cells involved in the working of immune system. So they are lymphocytes and antigen presenting cells. They are also known as APCs. So what are the two types? There are two main cells of immune system. Number one, lymphocytes. Number two, antigen presenting cells. Lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are the main cells of the immune system. Lymphocytes, they are the most important cells because they actually play a very vital role in protecting our body from all sort of infection. There are two types of lymphocytes, B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. They, like the other blood corpuscles, they arise from the stem cells, the hemocytoblast present in liver of the fetus and in bone marrow in adult. Some of them undergo differentiation in the gut associated bursal lymphoid tissue and are called bursal or B lymphocytes. Others are differentiated in the thymus gland and are termed as T lymphocytes. So there are two types of lymphocytes, B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes, B stands for bursal, and T lymphocytes, T stands for thymus gland. The mature lymphocytes pass into the body fluids, that is blood and lymph, and circulate in the body. Mechanism of response of T lymphocytes to antigens. Now, how this T lymphocyte, they respond to the antigens. So on coming in contact with an antigen, a T lymphocyte forms clones of T cells which are similar but they perform different functions. So what they do, they clone themselves which are like similar but they are performing different functions inside the body. The clone has four types of T lymphocytes. Now we have studied the mechanism of action of T lymphocyte. So what it does, it forms clone. Now the clone, they are of four types. These are the four types of T lymphocytes. Number one, helper T cells. Number two, killer T cells or cytotoxic T cells. Number three, suppressor T cells, and number 4, memory T cells. So helper T cells, what are those cells? They are sensitized helper T cells which produce lymphokines. It's very important, lymphokines, for performing several types of functions like proliferation of other T cells, stimulation of B lymphocytes and macrophages, etc. So helper T cells, what they do? They stimulate the other immune cells of the body. Next is killer T cells or cytotoxic T cells. They directly attack and destroy invading microbes, infected body cells and cancer cells. So obviously these T cells, killer T cells, are very important because they are directly attacking and destroying the invading pathogens which affect our body, and also they kill the cancer cells. So obviously this killer T cells, they are a very important part of the body or the part of the immune system. Killer T cells binds to infected cell and secrete perforins. Then perforins form a hole in infected cell. It also releases substances that kill the cell, hence the name cytotoxic T cells. So these perforins, they form a hole in the infected cell. And what does it do? It releases the substance that kill the cell, and hence it is cyto means killing, toxic means toxicity, so killing the toxic cell, that is cytotoxic T cell. Suppressor T cell, these cells suppress entire immune system against attack on the own body cells. And memory T cells, these are previously sensitized cells which retain the sensitization memory for long time in the future. Mechanism of action of B lymphocytes to antigens. B lymphocytes are sensitized directly by both antigens as well as by helper T cells. So activated B lymphocyte, it multiplies very fast to produce clone of plasma cells and memory B cells. The plasma cells produced they specialized glycoproteins called antibodies which are circulated through body fluids like blood and lymph. The antibody molecules may bind a cell membrane or they remain free. So these B lymphocytes, they are sensitized by both antigens as well as helper T cells. And this activated B lymphocyte, it multiplies very fast and it produces clones of plasma cells and memory B cells. Okay, so what they do? They produce antibodies, attack on the antigen. The free antibodies have three main functions. Number 1, agglutination. Number 2, opsonization. Number 3, neutralization. Agglutination of particulate matter including bacteria and viruses. The immobilized mass is then engulfed by phagocytes. Opsonization, or that is also known as coating bacteria to facilitate their subsequent phagocytosis by macrophage. Macrophage are also one type of immune cells. Next is neutralization of toxins that is released by the bacteria, and each antibody is specific for a particular antigen. Always remember. Antigen presenting cells. Now these antigen presenting cells, what they do, they engulf invading pathogens and process the antigens. Then the processed antigens are presented on their own surface, and these cells are able to deliver a stimulatory signal that is necessary for activation of helper T cell. So antigen presenting cell, directly or indirectly, what they do, they activate the helper T cell. Now helper T cell will again activate the B lymphocytes, and the B lymphocytes will produce the memory cells and the antibodies, and that way this antigen is killed. Vaccination. You all must have heard about vaccination and vaccines, and we all are like desperately waiting for the coronavirus vaccine. So what is this vaccination and what is this vaccine? Let us see now. Vaccination, administration of vaccine, that is inactivated pathogen or antigenic protection of particular pathogen to protect against a particular pathogen, is called vaccination. Okay, so it is administration of vaccine. Now what does this vaccine, what it will contain? It will contain inactivated pathogen, the pathogen which will not harm us. They are inactivated, they are not in active form, and they are just injected in our body. So what happens, our body, it creates an immune response against that inactivated pathogen and form memory cells, and that's how you are protected. So to protect against a particular pathogen, that is called vaccination. Vaccination is a way to teach the immune system as how to recognize and eliminate pathogenic organism. That way, body is always prepared if you are ever exposed. So in future, like if you're vaccinated and you're coming in contact with any such pathogens, you are safe. Vaccination is an important form of primary prevention that can protect people from getting sick. Vaccination has allowed us to control diseases like measles, polio, tetanus, and whooping cough that once threatened many lives. It's important that as many people as possible get vaccinated. Vaccinations don't just protect individuals. When enough people are vaccinated, it also protects the society. Yes, so never stop yourselves from being vaccinated, and vaccination is very important to protect yourself from any kind of fatal diseases. Vaccinations are safe. Vaccines are considered to be safe. They are rigorously tested and go through many rounds of study, examination, and research before they are used for the general public. Extensive research and evidence shows that vaccines are safe, their side effects are rare and typically mild. So these vaccines, before get coming in the market, they are rigorously tested on many individuals, animals, set of people, and then once it is approved, then only it comes to you for general public examination. So vaccinations are always safe. You don't have any sort of problem via vaccination. So students, I hope you all must have understood the concept of health. What does health means? What is immunity? And what are the types of immunity? And vaccination, and like cells of the immune system. I want you all to make a branch diagram of type of immunity and cells of immune system with the function. It is very important from board point of view, because there are frequently asked questions from this chapter, especially on immune system. Now what you are studying is just the basic part, just the introductory part. Okay, so if your concepts are clear, it will help you a lot in your further studies. Okay, so do the assignment. Thank you.